This conference will now
UAV.
be recorded.
Today we start. Today we start with the applications of the unmanned aerial vehicle. Uh, Now the drone market has extensively rise at a huge pace. Like in the year 2014, the market is estimated around 552 millions, while it is expected to grow around at a rate of 16.9 over a forecast period from 2014 to 2022. So and the application area is also increasing from previous years. It is recently uh, used in almost in every field, like from the defense, civilization, or in the photography, or another applications. And also it start initially it start with the applications in the defense area. Now it come up and grooming in every field with the extensive advantages. Next, we have the advantages of the UAV. The first is it has a high resolution, which is approximate around 1 centimeter per pixel. So this is basically a tool that is used for the environmental remote sensing, and it has also has a high temporal resolution data. Temporal resolutions means that it it refers to the discrete resolution of the measurement with respect to the time. And with respect to these advantages, this can be used for the purpose of the vegetation monitoring with the use of the multiple sensors such as infrared and the thermal infrared cameras. And another advantage is the 3D modeling. We can create a 3D model from these UAV images. For the 3D modeling, the sensor is LiDAR sensor, which is basically used to create a 3D model of the images, like buildings or a terrain area or trees. And another advantage is that it does not affect by the cloud coverage. Like in case of the satellite images, the images are quite effective if the coverage is by cloud, but in this case it is not affected by the cloud coverage. And yeah, in terms of technology, it has a immense technology, because technology are booming in this area. Like we have to transmit a real photograph or a video from the UAV to the servers. So for this protocol, we are using real-time messaging protocol for transferring the real-time data from the UAV, from the UAV embedded with the sensors to the database. Then we have to do different types of technological transformation, like we can implement object detection on these data or some other AI technology we can embed with this UAV data. Next is the cost. uh, Cost is uh, very reduced as compared to our satellite or another aerial transmission. Like it's UAV are available in the different ranges and shapes, and also they have a different rotating motor, and depending upon their size and the stability, their cost are vary, and it is less cost as compared to another aerial transmissions. And another advantage is the innovation. There is a huge innovation in this area, because now our our global are totally immersed with these technologies. They are using UAV in a logistic or in a civil or in a aerial photography or another applications. Next is the image comparison. This is the UAV image on the left side, and the right side we have a satellite image that we can easily see that there is a huge difference between these images in the range of the pixel or in the range of uh, their resolutions also. Now first we comes with the applications in the media from the aerial perspective. Now drone have propelled the art of the photography and the videography to fantastic new heights and rationalized the media industry. Now there are excellent aerial photography, aerial videos, and accumulate large volumes of data, and these data are obtained from the sensors which are embedded on this UAV. First, we start with the photography. Now, this UAV has given new shape in the field of the film and the media and in the photography. And filmmaker now fully grasp the idea of drone flight in their creative process and have managed to generate a wide range of new idea and perspectives. And also in case of nature and wildlife photographer, and there is no longer to go to a the jungles or the rainforest to have a, or to on the steep mountains to take the photographs of the nature. So I think it's an extensive use of aerial photography through drones. And in the area of the media like a TV reporter, it also revolutionized the reporter work. It like in this image, it gives a bird eye view of the news sense, and a journalist captures the scene that previously would be damage danger, and also aids the journalist to overcome the logistic hurdles. So in this way, the drones are help in the uh, media or the news, that it give a bird eye view, and it will capture the scene that would be previously would be danger. Now in the sport, it has a huge potential in individual sports like cycling and skiing. Drones are programmed to follow the athlete through a pre-planned course by locking into the GPS signal transmitted by the device. So in the picture, the drone are capturing the athlete motions and individual photography, where it is difficult if we are compared with the photography through a man. It would be difficult to capture each and every moment of the athlete. And also in the case of the racing, the drones are used to the film Formula One race, high school football practices, snowboarders, and extreme sports. It could be also used in some to capture the moments of extreme sports. Now comes with the application of drone in the shipping and delivery. Uh, DHL Express enter into the strategic partnership in China to realize a major innovation in the smart logistic. And also Amazon inspired from the Margherita Pizza delivery with the drones and recently launched is its Prime Air service, a delivery service designed to safely get packages to customer in a 30 minutes. Although it is in the testing phase, but after uh, December they would ready to uh, give this type of delivery. And also the logistic industry is blazing a trail and the use of the unmanned aerial vehicles, and also the parcel delivery sector in the particular is shaping the future of the UV applications. It has a huge potential of the use case of the cargo drones, that the parcel delivery sector get a new shape with the UAV. And sometime uh, in spite of the shipping and delivery, the drone would be helping in searching and locating operation of some missing people during the climatic conditions. These are come in the disaster management. Next, in the medical services, in spite in the commercial purpose, uh, these drones are come in the medical services. At the technical university in the Delft has designed an ambulance drone as a prototype, integrating a cardiac defibrillator and a two-way radio and video into the drone. So in case of the cardiac arrest, the emergency service would be send out the drone to the patient, and bystanders would be instructed on how to perform CPR and start using automatic defibrillator until the emergency service arrive. So this, I think it is extensive and a huge use of the UAV in the medical terms, that how it help in terms of the cardiac arrest, that in and also in the future these small indoor drones would deliver the medicines to the bedside of the patient from the pharmacy, and also thus eliminating some human steps. Drone would also you possible to deliver the blood and vaccine uh, to the blood banks or to the hospitals. Archaeological surveys. Now, drone has a huge application in this area. Over the years, lot of people have spent time and energy over these surveys, but now the drone made their work easier since they bring important footage and essential details about the archaeological sites. Now, the railway companies are also employing the drone for monitoring and inspecting the track fault in the constrained access areas. The Indian government is also planning to embed a 3D mapping of thousands of kilometers long railway corridors and the national highways. So drones are also fascinated us in various field, from ranging from the electricity companies to the railway industry. Electrical companies, they also prefer drone for the inspection of high tension lines, which is the risk to climb or the power outage. This is also another form of geographical mapping. Drones are now has a enormous effect in the field of the 3D geographical mapping. Now the region on the earth is not easy accessible to the humans, but it includes some danger coastlines or unattained mountain tops. So the purpose to study the terrain and prepare 3D maps and drone have been put to use. So for the 3D mapping, the lidar is used. lidar gives a metadata in the form of a .las, which is a compressed format, and it can handle a million of points. So these points are basically classified into these forms. First is the DEM. Now, what is DEM? DEM is a digital elevation model that represents the bare Earth's surface, removing all natural and built features. Like in the diagram, you can see that the when the sensor take the picture of these area, then the it it removes all the objects, natural or artificial जो भी objects removal of the objects that is present on the earth. And DSM is basically a digital surface model that captures the both natural and built artificial features of the environment, while in the DTM is called a digital terrain model. It is a typical argument of DEM. It is same as DEM by including a vector features of natural terrain such as rivers or ridges. So, uh, so lidar data basically gives points, Earth point in these three formats. One is DSM, one another DEM and DTM is both the same things. So, how it would create a 3D modeling? By calculating the height from the DSM points that they are receiving. They're calculating the height of the object like a tree or a house. So in this way, a 3D mapping is done. Now again, there is a picture that clear give a clear view on how the canopy height, which is basically called a canopy height model, that how the height is calculating to give a 3D view of the image. Like the DSM give this view, and where the DTM digital territory model give this view which is present in the second photograph. And after we minus these values and we calculate the canopy height of the tree or some another object which is present on the earth surface. So in this way we creating a 3D model. And in the forest area, it is extensively used to represent the height of the trees in the area above the ground level, and it also calculate the crown diameter, crown area, tree boundaries. So it has a huge value to the forestry management agencies, which allow a sustained cost and time saving with the UAV lidar monitoring relative to the manual inspection of the individual trees. So in this way, we can say that the this UAV has a huge advantage for the forest department, that they calculate their tree height and how they are performing. They're also calculating their growth stages and the diameter and also the area of the tree. Another in the agriculture, it has a huge potential of to estimate the biomass and the crop height for investigating for different crops. Like in in the recent recent use is that now the scientists and researchers do phenotyping of the crops to see the effect of the uh, new gene, or to come up with the new gene of the crops. So in order to get these results, they have to estimate the biomass and the potential yield of the new varieties of the agriculture crop. So this agriculture researcher have a huge pressure to increase the food production or improve the quality. So in order to do that, they require this biomass or the estimation of the crop during the growing season. So in this way, the lidar is basically used to calculate the biomass and the crop height estimation, which could be useful for the agriculture researcher for the phenotyping of the crops. And phenotyping basically focus on the morphological as well as the psychological crop traits, such as it estimate the plant height, stem diameter, leaf area, leaf area index, leaf angle, or another parameters. So in this way, that LiDAR, which would be embedded on the UAV, are helpful for both the forestry, agriculture, or the 3D mapping. And this is the explanation how they calculate the canopy height to generate a 3D model of an image. Another advantage is in the safety inspection. Like it is a extensive use and the inspection of the power lines, oil and gas pipelines, wind turbines, bridges under the construction. So it basically eliminates the safety concerns and the time commitments involved with putting humans in these areas. Earlier, to do the inspection, the use of the ladders, ropes to some small, large machinery or the towers to inspect the where the leakage will happen. So in this way, it gave a new shape in the terms of the safety inspection, as well as it reduced the risk for the manpower involved in this inspection. Sometimes it would be used in the industry, in the manufacturing industry, to inspect something where the boiling, where the temperature is a huge high. So in that region, it would be quite useful. Next, as in the wildlife monitoring. So drone basically bridge the gaps between the satellite image because of the less visibility availability and cloud cover. So UAV are also striving towards the monitoring of the fauna of the regions, like measuring the canopy height, and it also support in the forest management and also the forest fire detection, or it could be help in for the wildlife monitoring that could be prevent to lead to the uh, that could be for the prevention of the poaching, and also it would be used to study the behavior of the animals and analyzing their patterns. So wildlife sanctuaries and the conservation parks are thus restoring to drones to ensure safety of the animals through proper monitoring and analysis. Sometimes UAV are equipped with the thermal sensors along with uh, it will be the thermal sensors for monitoring of tagging and counting of animals, because in the forest department, in the forest, thermal sensor is basically used sometime when we get the videos or the images for the AI implementation, and we have to done the object detection, then there would be little difference between the spectral color, like if I say uh, color would be of parrot and leaves would be same, so it could be quite difficult for the different for differentiation and classification of the animals over the trees. But with the thermal sensors we can easily classify these types of problems, because they basically reflect the temperature of different objects on the plane. So the animals and the trees, and although all different objects have a different temperature, so based upon the temperature and the reflection, we can easily classify the and counting the animals in this wildlife monitoring. In agriculture, it has a extensive use. The main solo aim is to the precision agriculture to apply optimum output of to apply optimum input at a right time and place it to make a better product. Drones are the future of the farming. So with a greater refinement in the drone technology and implementation, we can see that it agriculture sector has take off the drones, and this would be valued its value is around $1 billion by 2024. Now, how the agriculture use the drone, using the near infrared cameras. Drone see the spectrum of light that the plant absorbs from the photosynthesis, and from these information they calculate the NDVI. Now, what is NDVI? NDVI is a normalized difference vegetation index that basically gives the information of the plant health. So in this way the farmer or the researcher get an idea about the plant health from these sensors. Also, it also reflects the crop type and the stages of the specific crop. So in this way, it gives the farmers or the researchers to plan better where the crop would be planted to maximize the land, water, and fertilizer usage. Next, in the agriculture field and the crop, uh, for the spraying fertilizers and pesticides. So to maintain the yield, they spray these fertilizers and pesticides through the UAV. So UAV carry a liquid storage reservoirs that can operate it more safely and can operate it and maintained at a fraction of cost compared to the other manual crop dusters. In agriculture field, it would be used in the irrigation management, like drones are equipped with the thermal cameras that provide the excellent insight into the irrigation by highlighting the areas that they have pooling water or insufficient soil moisture. So these affect the crop yield and the qualities. Now, these thermal drones are basically used to detect object which could be hidden, but it is not detected from the RGB or the multispectral cameras. So thermal camera is quite useful when we have to see the hidden objects, like in the agriculture or in another field. So by using these sensors, we can have a analysis of crops performance. In the livestock monitoring, now for these application, drones are equipped with the thermal cameras, and the image below showing the thermal image that now from the thermal image it is easy to segregate the animals and to do the counting. So this will allow a remote pallet in order to monitor the livestock, and also they can see the missing or injured or birthing animals. It gives a drones gives livestock farmers a new way to keep an eye on their livestock at all times and resulting great profits. In disaster management, these drones would help immediately following a disasters or even save lives. Uh, for example, like in the Amazon fire forest, it examine the rate at which the fire grows, and also sometimes in the disaster, like in the flood area, it can deliver essential services to the affecting peoples. So in this way, the drones are quite helpful in the disaster management. It eliminates the need of vast amount of manpower. So this would be end of these UAV applications. So if anybody have a inquiry, you can please ask.
Hello, good morning, madam.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
This is Dr. Deepak SK from Kerala Agriculture University. My doubt is, or my query is, what are the rules and regulations in aerial traffic in India regarding drones and using drones and licensing?
In agriculture, in terms of actually, there is a
Traffic.
huge risk disturbance. Just wait for 1 minute. I'm going outside. There is a huge disturbance inside.
Okay, okay, okay.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. My query was regarding the application or use of drones and the connected air traffic situations and licensing rules and regulations followed in India? What are the restrictions or any sorts of regulations to be followed while using drones in agriculture or any other purpose also?
Um, I had a little idea that we have to take a permission from the authorities, the like for the flying the drone, and after receiving the approval, uh, we can use it in every field. Like in the agriculture, we can manage the crop or estimate the NDVI stress of the crops, and also in another applications for the yield estimation and also the fruit and the crop classification. In India, it is a there are many researchers and also the private companies are using the drones uh, for in agriculture field. The IIT, I think IIT Roorkee or Kanpur are using these agriculture drone for this high phenotyping for the gene extraction of the crops.
Okay, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Madam, good morning. I am Dr. Shanti from KIT, Kalinga Karnanidhi Institute of Technology, madam.
Yeah, good morning.
Madam, which type of thermal camera you have used for disaster management, madam? What was the configuration for it?
What is?
Thermal camera. You told that you have used the thermal camera for disaster management, no?
Uh, Thermal
In
camera is
UAV.
basically uh, thermal camera like in the livestocking counting, or it would be give a clear picture of the animals, or sometime it would be used to uh, examine the hidden objects, like in the safety on this security surveillance. Some people are hiding the weapons inside the cloth, so thermal camera can easily uh, extract the hidden objects behind anything. So it has a extensive use in several areas, like in the safety or security surveillance. So after that, like if we equipped these sensors uh, on the video cameras and embed with the AI, it would automatically gives the result that there is a safety concern or the safety issues, or sometime it would be helping like in the agriculture field. If two objects are of same color, that it would be difficult to segregate in terms of AI. But if a thermal image is taking uh, without, despite of their same color, but their temperature difference is there, so they gives a different color image of from the thermal. So this could be useful in segregation this way.
Okay. Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. I am Payal Gutke from GH Raisoni College of Engineering.
Hanji, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. Actually, I have worked on this drone platform in our college. We have a drone, means a small drone. I just wanted to ask you that the flight controller part. other than the configuration we can do it, but when it needs to come to build a flight controller in market, flight controller is already available, but if I want to build it, so which are the components required for it?
Uh, Actually, I'm from the AI field, and I had a quite less knowledge of these embedded and flying control.
Okay.
So I think
Okay.
Dr. Mandeep would be the better person to answer these queries.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Anybody have a query? Okay, then thank you so much for attending this lecture, and please give the feedback. Thank you so much for joining this session.